Let us look at some internal participants and contributing members to this. Family members and communities can be important resources in this process. But not any family member and not any community member. A family member and a community member who is informed, stimulated, entrusted, and prepared in effective ways. In other words, unless these people themselves have received and seen the benefits of a good quality education, they will not be good resources. Efforts should not be spared when guiding and directing families in work that is supportive of their child. And that is the part of an educationist's job. Whether it's a teacher, whether it's the head of an institution, whether it's a counselor, you may call them whatever, but it is the job of these people to guide parents into what is good for their children. After all, every young child can't become a doctor. Every young child can't become an engineer. We need other members contributing in other areas of societal growth and development as well. It is often a great challenge to get the families of the most marginalized learners involved, especially in the rural areas where families tend to be large and the older siblings are seen as babysitters for the younger siblings, especially girls, where boys, unfortunately, are seen as helping hands in the fields. This mindset needs to change. And unless these marginalized groups are brought into the mainstream of education, their future is not going to be much different. An example from South Africa. At a primary school in Durban, South Africa, teachers use grandmothers as a resource to develop the reading abilities of children. Now, you see, in a classroom of maybe 20, 30 students, one teacher can't check reading of every child every day. So this school uses grandmothers who come, who have received an education, have made sure their daughters or sons received an education, and now their grandchildren are receiving an education. What a wonderful way to involve in the child's learning someone from the family the child is already familiar with. Grandmothers have been trained to listen to children read and to encourage them to interact with the text. So, the grandmothers come, spend some time with teachers. The teachers model maybe a 5-10 minute reading, because it's not just listening to the child. That's not reading. It's listening and then asking questions, interacting with the text, making sure that the child understands what the child is reading. Twice a week, grandmothers come to the school and work with groups of children in the playground or under a tree. That's familiar in our cases. We also have lots of open ground spaces, maybe even under a tree. Find people in society who would love to help out develop the future of this nation. This also frees up the teachers to work with children who may be experiencing difficulties in learning and who may need individual attention from the teacher. So while the grandparents spend time with these groups of children who probably need help with reading, the teacher then can spend time, maybe one-on-one time, or time with small groups of students who need additional help with their studies. So, involving people from the community in productive work with the students also frees the teacher to do productive work in other areas where students may need that kind of work.